sciClaw is a personal assistant for academics and researchers. sciClaw is open source, free, and easy to install, and it lives on your own hardware. sciClaw starts off as a pretty competent research assistant, but what really makes it special is that over time, you develop its identity, its skills, and abilities, really making it into your own paired scientist. Before jumping into this tutorial, if you're a non-technical user, but an experienced academic, what's the payoff for doing 30 minutes? Let me show you. Here, I'm in my Discord app. At the end of this tutorial, this app will be connected to an AI that lives on your computer. Here I've added a message, start a new project, do a PubMed search, summarize the last 5 papers on new treatments in Fragile X syndrome, put the references in APA format, put the output in a Word document, and share it back with me in the chat. Give it a few minutes, and I received the output in my chat with a small summary message. I pulled up the Word document, and here I have the last 5 PubMed papers, the search strategy that it used, the PubMed IDs, so I can verify for myself what they are. I wanted to share the output before embarking on the installation, so you have some idea what the light is at the end of the tunnel. This ability to create a Word document, to search PubMed, these were not built into ChatGPT. The real power here is that those are techniques and skills that I brought to the AI, and it incorporated it into its abilities. These plans you see at the bottom here, the soul, the identity, the users, the hooks, the tools, these are all things that you give it in terms of its abilities. Any skill that you can teach to somebody who's on a mouse and a keyboard is something that you have a shot of training your AI to do. My name is Ernie Penapati. I am a neuroscientist and a physician in Cincinnati. My goal in this video is to get you up and running with sciClaw as quickly as possible. There's a ton of information about it on the website, and there's a preprint if you want to learn more about what we're building. I've opened up, I think, the minimal number of applications you need to get up and running with sciClaw. The first application is a web browser. I've got Google Chrome here, and it's opened up to sciClaw.dev. This is the homepage for sciClaw, and if you look in the upper right-hand corner, there is a link to the documentation. The next tab I have open is Discord. Discord is a messaging app that is cross-platform. It's on your phone, it's on your computer. And why do we have this open? I've never used Discord to communicate with people, but Discord is an amazing interface to communicate with your sciClaw. It allows you to send files back and forth, and it is basically your central hub for working on your projects. I would go ahead and make a Discord account and log in on the website. After you create your Discord account, download the actual Discord application and install it on your computer. After installation, open the application, log into it. The tab I have right next to it is the Discord developer interface. I would take this address down. It's difficult to find. It's discord.com/developers/applications. If you're a non-technical user, you get this ultra secure way of communicating with your sciClaw. You don't have to use custom application. You don't have to expose your computer to the internet. Everything you need to send back and forth to your sciClaw can be done in the Discord app, which is secure. Now let's talk about how to connect your AI to sciClaw. sciClaw works with a number of AI providers, including those that you might have access through a subscription, a local model that runs entirely on your computer, or through an API key that you might receive at work. Probably the easiest way to get started with sciClaw is to log in using your ChatGPT Plus or Pro account. This allows you to use the OpenAI models, but not necessarily do a per-use billing fee. In order to get this working smoothly, you do have to go to your ChatGPT web interface, and under Settings, under Security, At the bottom of that panel is Enable Device Code Authorization Codex. That will allow us to connect sciClaw with ChatGPT relatively easily. If you have two-factor authentication on your ChatGPT subscription, you should have your email ready to go to get that code. Finally, open up the terminal on your computer. This will exist across platforms, and it's a way to access your underlying operating system. I wanted to mirror a new user experience as much as possible. This is a fresh install that is a completely new machine, which hopefully is helpful, that you don't need anything other than what we're going to be doing in this tutorial. So now that we have our web browser, our terminal, and our Discord app, we can start the installation. I'm going to flip the page over to the sciClaw documentation so I can easily cut and paste commands. The first command I'm going to run is installing Homebrew. This will allow us to install custom applications. I'm going to paste the command into the terminal, enter my password. Now that the installation is done, there's a couple of critical things that you have to do by following the next steps. When the installation is complete, it's really important to follow the next steps that Homebrew gives you. In this case, it says to run these 3 commands to add Homebrew to my path. I'm going to go ahead and do that, copy them, paste it, and run it. This will make it so every time I open a new terminal, I'll still have access to Homebrew. There's also, depending on your system, additional instructions. In this case, it says install Homebrew's dependencies if you have sudo access. If you get this message, I would copy this command and run it. The Homebrew installation is complete, and you should be able to move on to the next step. Moving on to installing sciClaw, I'm going to cut and paste this next command, which is a brew command. And this should start the sciClaw installation process. sciClaw is installed, and we are ready to move on to onboarding. Here I'm going to type in sciClaw onboard, and just walking you through what it's done. It's created the default personality files and installed a number of skills. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the recommended log into OpenAI using the device code path. When you hit yes, you're going to get a website. You're going to copy this link, and then you're going to paste it into a new tab. This will start the authentication process with ChatGPT. I'm going to log into my account, paste in my one-time code, and then I'm going to sign in to Codex with ChatGPT. At this point, I want to copy the unique code that's in my terminal and paste it into my web browser. Once you've done that, you'll notice that the terminal will automatically advance. And if everything is working well, it's going to actually have an AI message. Here, for example, it says, ready to partner with you on rigorous, reproducible scientific work. That's a great sign that your AI is active. The next question is, do you want to add in an API key for a PubMed search? This is optional, but does increase your limits to 10 searches a second. You can retrieve this by logging into your PubMed account and going to your account profile. The next few steps, depending on your system, are going to auto-install, and then you're going to get to the messaging app section. Setting up Discord takes a few steps. I'm going to walk through it step by step because it's easy to get lost. You should have your Discord app open and logged in. Click on the gear icon in the bottom left. That will bring you over to your settings. Scroll down to advanced, and there'll be one toggle that says developer mode. Turn this on. Then close your settings. By turning on that toggle, you now will have a new option. If you click on your profile, it'll say copy user ID. Go ahead and click on that, and that will be your user ID for Discord. You can go back to the terminal and then paste it into the field. The next step is to get a bot token. And what this bot token is will be the connection in Discord to your sciClaw server. In order to get this, you're going to go back to your web browser and go to the developer page that we had opened up earlier. Under this page, it should start off with applications. If you click on new applications, you're going to name your sciClaw. In this case, I'm going to pick a simple name, sciClaw 1234, and then I'm going to agree to the policy and hit create. On this page, you've given the bot a name, and you're going to go over to the upper left-hand corner. Under this, you're going to move to the bot menu. Under the bot menu, you're going to hit reset token. When you hit reset, you're going to type in your password, and you're going to have your secret bot token that you're going to copy, and you're going to paste it into your terminal. If you've done these two steps, it's okay to now hit yes to save your Discord settings. At this point, you are very close to completing the process of setting up sciClaw. Let's finish up these steps and make a connection between our Discord bot and our sciClaw server running on our computer. Scroll down under the bot menu until you find Message Content Intent. You're going to toggle that on, and you're going to hit Save Changes. You're then going to scroll down until you get to Bot Permissions. We're going to set up Manage Server, Send Messages, Read Message History, Attach Files, and Embed Links. With that step complete, we're now on our final step of setting up our connection. Let's move over to our Discord chat, and we are going to add a new server. We're going to hit Create My Own for me and my friends, and you can name this whatever you'd like. I'm going to call it sciClaw. We now have an active server that we can invite our Discord bot to. In order to get the invitation, we have to go back to our web browser, click on the bot menu, and go down to OAuth 2. If you scroll down, we're going to have some options here in terms of what we have to pick for the proper invitation to our server. We're going to click bot, and then we're going to continue to scroll down, and under bot permissions, we're going to reflect what we did earlier. Manage roles, send messages, read message history, attach files, and embed links. When that's complete, if you scroll down, you're going to make sure it says guild install, which means that we're going to be installing to a single server. And then we're going to copy the generated URL or web link. I'm going to bring it over to a new tab, and I'm going to paste it. Discord will recognize this, log in, and then add this bot to your server. As you can see here, my Discord app has automatically detected the invitation. I'm going to confirm that I want my sciClaw bot to be added to the sciClaw server and hit continue. On this, I see the permissions that I set. I'm going to hit authorize. I'm going to hit go to sciClaw. If everything works well, you're going to see a message saying sciClaw just showed up. There's one more step, which is to activate your actual sciClaw so it begins to run, to receive, and do tasks. I'm going to go back to my terminal and confirm if these steps are successful. You're going to see in your Discord chat, sciClaw has just showed up. The final step is to go back to your terminal and start your sciClaw robot. The final step is to go back to your terminal. The final step is to go back. The final step is to go back to your terminal and start your actual sciClaw. The final step is to go back to your terminal and to start the sciClaw gateway so you can start to send and receive messages. There are two ways to set up your sciClaw. One is an active process that you can start and shut down when you're using it. The other way to set it up is to be a background process that runs on your computer regardless of whether or not the application is over. I'm going to demonstrate both. In order to start the active process, you type in sciClaw. In order to start the active process, you type in sciClaw gateway, and that will start your sciClaw up and running. In fact, the log that you're seeing is step by step what's happening to your sciClaw on any given moment. Once this is set up, you can go to your Discord chat and begin communicating. Hi sciClaw, how are you today? Success. Your sciClaw is now hooked up and you can begin to use it for different tasks. The sciClaw service allows sciClaw to run in the background. I find this particularly useful with the way that I work. I don't necessarily need sciClaw running in a terminal in front of me. I want it working regardless of if I have applications open or not. In order to do this, you're going to type in sciClaw service and then install. That will install the sciClaw service as a background process. Next, you want to do sciClaw service start. That will start the service. Even though there's nothing that you're seeing on the screen in terms of acknowledgement, if you go back to your chat and throw in a message, you'll see that sciClaw will respond to you. If you want to later stop the service, you can go over and hit sciClaw service stop. You can type in sciClaw service status, sciClaw service logs, and then finally sciClaw service stop. You can confirm it stopped by sending a message. In fact, if you send a message and there's no response, the first thing I would do is check if your service is functioning properly. Hopefully, I hope this has been an efficient way to demonstrate to you how quickly we can get sciClaw up and running on our platform. Why don't we start by giving sciClaw a useful task? I'm going to ask sciClaw to do a literature review of the most recent 10 articles looking at schizophrenia treatment in PubMed and to compile them into a Word document with APA references. Why don't we jump in and have sciClaw do something useful? Create a new project. Please do a literature review in PubMed of the last 5 papers looking at new treatments in schizophrenia. Please compile into a Word document with APA style references. Send me the file in this chat as an attachment. We'll let sciClaw have a few minutes to work on this task. Okay, let's go over setting up the gateway. This is great if you're running this on a second computer. You can set it up and forget it. And let's now set up the background gateway where we start sciClaw and it runs on a computer in the background. Let's now set up sciClaw as a background process. This is great if you're running it on a second computer. sciClaw can be in the background and respond to chats. You're going to type in the sciClaw command, and if you look at the list here, we're going to pick sciClaw service, and there's several commands here. After you do an update, it's helpful to do a sciClaw refresh, and then a sciClaw service start will start the process in the background. You can check on it by typing in sciClaw service status, and you can also type in logs to see what's going on with it. Now that the service is set up and it's running in the background, I can close my terminal, and essentially the Discord chat will work whether you do it from your computer or your phone, and that service will be there until you stop it or restart your computer. Let's try doing something useful. I'm going to go ahead and start a new channel, and I'm going to call this Lit Review. And here I'm going to say start a new project, find 5 newer papers on Fragile X treatment in PubMed, summarize them in a Word document, use APA style references, and share the file in the chat. Once I enter my message, you'll see the progress indicator that sciClaw is working on this. If you want to see some of the details, you can look at your logs and see exactly the commands that sciClaw is running. As it works through this process, it might take a few minutes. You can give it extremely complicated tasks or even work out a plan ahead of time. Paste the plan in there or refer to the file and let sciClaw work through it. We'll give it a few minutes. While it's working, I'm going to pull up the website. I wanted to point out a few things. One is that we do put, while it's working, let me refer back to the website. It has a bunch of helpful features here in terms of different commands you can run or different configuration files. What I really want to stress is that sciClaw is really a system that improves itself. And so if there's something that you want to bring to it, for example, I often have a sheet that I train postdocs and grad students on how to review journal articles. You can put that sheet in there and say, could you create a skill to learn how to review a journal article in my particular way? sciClaw can then take an article and then apply what it's learned from your method. This is, I think, a peek into the future on where these type of agents are going. Okay, we've went ahead and we've got a response back from sciClaw, created a new project and generated the requested Word document, and then it's attached it as attachment. I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and it's downloaded the file, and I'm going to open this up in Microsoft Word, and here I have a Word document. Now that our gateway is running, I went ahead and closed my browser and the other terminal windows. From here on out, we can work directly with our Discord app. I'm going to go over to the sciClaw server menu here and create a channel, and I'm going to call this Lit Review. And in here, for this channel, I'm going to type in start a new project. Please do a PubMed search and summary of the last 5 papers for new treatments in Fragile X syndrome. Put the references in APA format. Output should be a Word document that you can share as an attachment in this chat. And I'll submit the message. It'll take a few minutes to work through this. What's happening behind the scenes is the AI is using the tools that we've given it access to. These abilities that we're giving the AI to search PubMed, to create a Word document, were not built into the AI. These are all things that we have explained to it how to use. We provided it the tools and natural language instructions on how to use them. Essentially anything where you have a mouse and a keyboard and a screen, this AI is capable of doing. It looks like we are complete. I'm going to go ahead and download this, and then we're going to open it up and see what the AI has provided. And here is the output, and you can see here that it's nicely formatted. It's kept the PubMed ID in here, which is essential for me for double checking the work. And it's also provided me some references here. What you have in the end is essentially a personal paired intelligent assistant that can work alongside you for research. One that you have a ton of control over and one that is local on your computer. I hope this has been clear and helpful. Join us. We are looking to grow this community, add discussions on the GitHub page, add issues. We think that this can be a tool that can help propel the next generation of scientific discoveries. A general tool, a paired scientist,